The non-New Year's January seasonal banner is sort of sticking to a theme for once. This slot has been quite random in the past, but last year featured a Pledgean themed banner. Pledge is a desert nation, and this year we have another desert location in Radiant Dawn's Hatari. The Of Lost Kingdoms banner is going to revolve around Hatari, including its queen, Nailah. She's hosting a tournament, and joining her will be Xane, Karla, and Harmonic Azura and Leanne. We'll be going over everyone's stats and kits, plus discuss your own playstyles and build ideas. As a reminder, from the recent changes, Fate Pass holders can spark on this banner. For the 4-star focus unit, it's going to be Hatari Xane. You can get him at 4-star and 5-star rarity. Funny enough, this is Xane's second ult without a base version still, and his second time as the 4-star focus unit. For this go around, Hatari Xane is an infantry healer. For stats, he has 47 HP, 30 attack, 36 speed, 23 defense, and 35 resistance. He will have a defense super boon. Xane has a peculiar stat spread with the highest base HP out of any healer. He has good base res and is the second fastest infantry healer as well. His attack is on the lower side and his defense is pretty low too, but he has the high base HP to offset it. For the most part, Xane has a workable stat spread if you're looking for offense or defense or a mix. For ult skills, he comes with Physic Plus, Miracle, Dazzling Staff 3 at 4 stars, and then Defense and Res Solo 3. Pretty interesting set of passives. We've gotten some very solid healer fodder from the past couple ephemeral batches as well. Adding to that is Xane's inheritable staff, the Serpentine Staff, plus this 12-mite staff is extremely cool. It basically is a Pain Plus staff combined with Fatal Smoke. During and after combat, the foe cannot heal. Then, after combat, if Xane attacked, he inflicts 7 damage and deep wounds on the target and foes within 2 spaces. While this is slightly less damage than Pain Plus, tacking on Fatal Smoke is really fun. You could pair this weapon with Double Savage Blow to deal 21 out of combat damage in an AoE, or you could stack Poison Strike as well. Considering this staff can refine with Dazzling Staff, any healer can be a menace, so it's a very interesting weapon to put on the 4-star focus. Now, in case Serpentine Staff starts popping up, do keep in mind that odd and even recovery do counter it sort of. Their cleanse ability will get rid of deep wounds, and the 20 HP heal comes after, so it does work. This is not the same for Restore Plus though. Restore Plus will cleanse deep wounds, but it's not going to heal. Now, like most healer builds, they are highly customizable depending on what staff you can get. As mentioned, for Serpentine Staff, you can double stack Savage Blow for 21 AoE damage, or you can double up on Poison Strike to deal 27 damage to one target. This staff can definitely mess people up, especially if they cannot deal with Dazzling Staff. It's basically like the Fire Sweep builds that utilize the splash damage skills, but you can tack on Fatal Smoke to stop healing. Xane will be able to run Wrathful and Dazzling Staff, but you really aren't forced to run this setup if you just want the splash damage and Fatal Smoke. You can just use Dazzling Staff on the Refine, then take a B skill of your choosing. What Defense and Res Solo 3 is, mainly since Xane has a 2-space physic for healing, I generally think a healer wants a skill that works next to any ally. If you want Xane to stay in formation, then you can run Forms and Bond skills for stats. If you want a tank build, then Palm Staff Plus is the go-to, and the extra speed debuffs could also be fun to work with. For this month's Ephemera, the Grand Scratcher Plus is available. Since Xane has high base HP, he could run Infantry Pulse support, and he can give 2 cooldown or -2 cooldown to a high attack infantry ally. Additionally, Xane could also bring Panic support, and his resistance is good too, so he could run Ploys or Sabotages if you wish. His stat spread may be a bit weird, but it does work for these certain specific support-based skills. Overall, Hatari Xane is a bit more standard than his unique Halloween ult, but he has one heck of an inheritable staff and some other good fodder. Extremely solid 4-star focus unit. Up next is Hatari Karla. I don't feel like she got a ton of hype, but I think this Karla is extremely fun, and I would keep an eye out if you run into her. She will be a Lance Infantry unit this time, but Karla has transferred over her Swordmaster stat spread. This includes 41 HP, 40 attack, 42 speed, 31 defense, and 20 resistance. Karla will have attack and speed super boons, and both are great options. While Karla isn't the fastest or hardest hitting Lance Infantry unit, she has improved her base defense and res from her Swordmaster version, and both are quite good for this type of speedy unit. For ult skills, Karla comes with Draconic Aura, Special Spiral, and Odd Tempest 3. She may only have 2 passives, but both are pretty fun skills. What really makes Karla shine is her unique Dry Blade Lance. This 16-mite lance accelerates specials and gives -2 cooldown on turn 1. Then at the start of combat, if Karla has more than 25% HP, she gets +6 attack and speed and deals damage equal to X% of her speed stat when special triggers. X is going to be equal to her max cooldown value count value times 10, and then you add +20% afterwards. Alrighty, so Dry Blade Lance is a hilariously fun weapon. Not only does it accelerate specials, but Karla gets -2 cooldown to start every battle. She will instantly charge Draconic Aura, but it gets better because when she procs her special, she gets a scaling damage version of Regno Astra. Draconic Aura would have a max of 2 cooldown, 2 times 10 is 20, 20 plus 20 is 40%, which is actually just Regno Astra straight up. This means base kit Karla can instantly whack you with Draconic Aura and Regno Astra at the same time. After combat, she then has Special Sparrow to recharge Draconic Aura. Very fun weapon, but you actually have a lot of special options to choose from. For her base kit, all Karla needs is an A skill, and you probably want an attack and speed increasing one to boost her damage, since she has the bonus Regno Astra type damage. Attack and speed solo, Swift Sparrow, or Surge Sparrow are work fine. If you run Surge Sparrow, Karla can heal whatever she procs her special, but you're gonna have to be initiating for that one. This can work with Special Sparrow, but it might be better with no follow-up. If you run a 1 cooldown Ruptured Sky or Moonbow, then Karla heals for 30% max HP and deals 30% of her speed as bonus damage. Karla could proc 2 of these specials since she charges it immediately, and you could use Times Pulse if you want to do this multiple times in a fight. Another scary special are the AoE specials. Karla brings them down to 3 cooldown, which means Dry Blade Lance adds 50% of Karla's speed on top. It also brings the AoE special down to 1 cooldown on turn 1, which means you just need like 1 infantry pulse to pre-charge it. Once Karla procs it, she has Special Sparrow to keep the train going over and over. If you run Double Lift and Death 3, a non-merge Karla would have 52 speed. 50% of that is 26 damage on top of the AoE damage. Pretty disgusting. We can actually go even further though by using Aether. Karla can basically just run Legendary Ike's Remix kit with a 4 cooldown Aether that goes to 2 cooldown on turn 1. She has Special Power to repeat the process, and you can run Darting Breath, now with fun skills like Distant Counter. Except unlike Ike, Karla is adding 60% of her speed stat to Aether's damage. Good lord. If you want damage reduction, throw in Spurn instead, and there are also skills like Flashing Blade 4 or the classic Desperation. I think Hatari Karla is a very cool unit and has a lot of fun builds depending on the special you go with. For our 3rd seasonal unit, it is the Hatari Queen herself, Nailah. She got a very fun refine recently, and this ult basically takes advantage of these same benefits. Nailah is still an infantry unit but is a red beast this time, only needs a colorless ult to complete the cycle. For stats, she has 40 HP, 39 attack, 43 speed, 35 defense, and 25 resistance. Nailah comes with attack and res super boons and basically outclasses her bridal ult stats. Very solid offenses and improves her defense too. For ult skills, Nailah has Luna and low speed and defense 3. She also has her signature Glare C skill, which applies an AoE gravity effect on the target. It will once again synergize with her weapon. With a mile-long description, Hatari Nailah has the Royal Hatari Fang. It enables Kanto remaining +1 when transformed, and it accelerates specials. Then if Nailah initiates or is within 2 spaces of an ally, she gains +5 to all stats and no follow-up 3. The description of this weapon is only insanely long because the devs do not want to shorten Kanto and the beast transformation bonuses. As a reminder, infantry beast units got buffs when transformed recently. They deal 7 damage on special trigger and gain no guard plus no special charge. Quite nice with accelerated specials and no follow-up. For the most part, this Nailah wants to be aggressive. Like regular Nailah's refined, she gains Kanto when transformed, which means she can initiate, proc glare, then Kanto retreat. This can create extremely annoying gravity traps. For inheritable A skill, Nailah introduces Sturdy Surge. This is the defense version of Surge Sparrow and has a sort of side grade to Sturdy Impact. If the unit initiates combat, gain +7 attack and +10 defense, then with special triggers, you heal for X% of max HP. X is equal to the max special cooldown value times 20, then you add +10% after. This skill is inheritable by all melee units, which means Cavaliers and Armors too. I bring this up because those unit types cannot run Sturdy Impact, and Sturdy Impact is different by giving fall prevention instead of healing. The max % HP healing can be game changing from these surge skills, and I do think quite highly of them. They are amazing for sustain, especially if you can proc higher cooldown specials. Generally speaking, surge skills are best if you can double because that means more chances at proccing your special. You can initiate combat then take counterattack damage, and then if you proc your special on your second hit, you're going to heal back up. Either way, you walk away healthy or the enemy has to chew through another HP bar to kill you. For some potential candidates, I do think slow melee camps with free follow-up attacks are options. Legendary Ephraim would be a great user since he has no guard, but Ephraim already heals via his B skill, and he just has a ton of fun with Gale Force anyway. Duso is another choice, but Steady Surge is player phase only, and Duso runs solo skills to be high defense and res unit on either phase. If you're going all in on the player phase option, then the Flow B skills would be interesting pairings for this skill. Let's resume talking about Nailah and how she uses Sturdy Surge. Basically, she is looking to take on tankier but slower foes. She is fast and has low speed and defense, but Sturdy Surge doesn't add speed, so Nailah might lose to super fast defenders. However, Hatari Nailah has no follow-up, no guard, and no special charge, which is basically the Creator Sword, and it basically targets those annoying army units. She can double them, stack a ton of defense, and then heal on her second hit. With Royal Hatari Fang and Sturdy Surge, Nailah hits 50 defense, so you could run Bonfire too. With no guard, she will always proc Bonfire or Luna on her second hit, assuming she takes a counterattack. After combat, Nailah then applies Gravity, and she has Kanto to reposition. Much deadlier than her blue form, but also focused on player phase mainly. Additionally, you have to stay transformed for a lot of these bonuses, which means team comps or positioning is an issue. Now, if you want to add more killing power and healing, you can take Time's Pulse instead of Glare. This would open up 4 cooldown specials like Ignis to be ready in 2 actions. Nailah could hit twice, proc Ignis, add 7 damage from her weapon, and heal 70% of her max HP. You could also just run Flashing or Heavy Blade instead. We mentioned this with OG Nailah's Refined, but Hatari Nailah does it better. With no follow-up on her weapon, she can run the Glare Force setup with Wind Sweep. With Flashing Blade, Nailah could hit twice without being counterattacked. She can apply Gravity and activate Gale Force with Kanto still available. It is kind of ridiculous, and I would not want to let Nailah actually get this combo activated. All in all, Hatari Nailah is not messing around. She gets the same Kanto plus Glare combo as her regular Refined got, but she has no follow-up with Sturdy Surge to take hits and heal right back up. Last up is Harmonic Azura and Leanne. This pair is going to be a pain because the devs are basically teasing just how ridiculous Legendary Azura's remix is going to be. Before we get to why that is, Harmonic Azura is going to be another cavalry dancer. She's a green mage cav with 37 HP, 37 attack, 39 speed, 16 defense, and 23 res. Attack, speed, and res super boons, but Azura is probably focusing on offense mostly. Like I say with Legendary Azura, I think Harmonic Azura would still be one of the best dancers in the game, even if she had no stats. Flying dancers are great, but cavalry dancers can create even more headaches with their 3 base movement. Harmonic Azura gets great waves from her legendary ult. I shouldn't have to explain what this does, but basically if she dances an infantry or flying ally, they get +1 movement. Azura and Leanne then get Fury 4 and Speed and Res Far Trace. For those not familiar, yes, Kanto does proc off of dancing. For their weapon, the pair come with the Dancing Flames. This 14 my tome grants +3 attack to help Azura. If she dances an ally, they get +6 to all stats, and this applies to adjacent allies as well. Then, if Azura needs to fight herself, she gets +6 attack and speed when above 25% HP. So this is literally Prayer Wheel without needing any field boss. The only way Prayer Wheel is better is if you get +7 field boss, but those are not super common, and it's a 1-point difference. Generally speaking, Harmonic Azura has both abilities of Legendary Azura. I am sure the devs did this because Legendary Azura is on the remix banner in March, and despite dancers not really getting refines, I do not think they're going to skip over Legendary Azura. This only means Prayer Wheel and Grey Waves 2 are going to be even better, so have fun dealing with 2 incredibly strong dancers for the next year. Now, Harmonic Azura also gets a Harmonic skill. She gives Resonance Blades to all allies from the same titles, which is just +4 attack and speed during combat. She can then dance an ally within 2 spaces from the same titles. I believe these titles are Path of Radiance and Fates. Radiant Dawn is not included, so be careful about that. Generally speaking, Harmonic skills are harder to use because you're limited to certain games, but a dancer that can dance twice in 1 turn is still incredibly strong. For example, Harmonic Azura can use Grey Waves, Kanto with Far Trace, then get into position to activate her Harmonized skill to dance again. For her new inheritable skill, Azura and Leanne have Crossspur Res. Crossspur grants +5 of their stats to allies in cardinal directions. They are pure support skills, so they are best on your support units like your dancers. They can give you across the map buffs, or you can just allow you to stack more in combat buffs with multiple teammates. For the most part, Harmonic Azura and Leanne are good to go. They hand out +6 field buffs for dancing and give infantry and flyers +1 movement to abuse. We just got Reeve's fun stall tome, but if dancers dance a stalled ally, the stall status is going to be gone, and that unit can get the extra movement then. This Azura may not be a flyer, but having 3 movement on the ground is still crazy, as shown by Dual Sigurd. Combine this with Pathfinder and other movement shenanigans, and things can get messy really fast. Azura also has her Harmonic skill this time for an extra dance ability. Now, I don't think the Harmonic skill procs Dancing Flames buffs, however, it wouldn't surprise me if it did count as a synchro dance. If you're looking for extra skills, then really you can add either or just add more in-combat buffs in the Sacred Seal slot or exchange out crossbow res. You can always choose to stack one specific stack like extra resistance or bonus attack. Crossbow attack also wouldn't be a bad choice considering Azura's team may be attacking from across the map. While Far Trace is fun and gives Azura a bit more damage, Wings of Mercy is always the classic go-to. If you're looking for actual damage builds, then really Azura is a very simple class cannon mage. You can double stack Fury for now, but her defense is especially low to start with. Harmonic Azura is mainly here to dance and buff your team. She can hand out easy field buffs for Blade Tomes or Bonus Doubler, and extra movement for infantry or flyers is deadly as always. I was hoping Legendary Azura's remix would be kinda tame if she got one. However, considering they literally gave her entire kit to another Azura ult, I'm quite afraid of what they're going to unleash in a couple months. That will be it for this video. If you're summoning, then I wish you good luck. We do have a Tempest Trials coming up, and the reward unit will be Hatari Dean, our one actual newcomer to Fae. Dean will be a rare cavalry dagger unit, and this time we aren't getting super trolled with a 20 attack unit. We'll be talking about him next time, so stick around. Let me know your thoughts on this banner, and thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.